Hey friends, welcome to Battletech Blades of Honor Season 1, Episode 14. Set in 3046, probably. This is the correct episode number. Boy, the thing is I could edit this out at any time and I probably won't. It's just that we almost had several episodes and I iterated the title and I've double-checked, but I've double-checked before and been wrong and accidentally reiterated or de-iterated. So here we are. It's the episode after the last one, of course.
I kind of say, when you said you're going to walk us in, I was half expecting a walking baseline. I was a bit disappointed to not, go into the show with that Seinfeld-esque.
Seinfeld.
A slap at the base.
Yeah, of course. This particular episode will actually be about nothing, and at the end of the episode, nothing will have changed, which will also mean I will not award the characters any XP for anything that they do. Instead, let's talk about what your goals are for this episode so that I can give you XP for what you want to do. Rad?
What are we doing?
What do you mean? What are we doing?
We're going off-world to catch Sword Guy, right?
Yeah, so we have a funeral ceremony. You also need to gather up Chadwick Powers, his girlfriend, his son? Or is it? I think it might be his daughter, and then the guy who you killed that was responsible for the killing of. Boy,
that person's daughter.
It's JW's, daughter, I think.
Yeah, it was definitely a daughter because it was like there was a whole bring the girl thing.
Yes. And it's Chadwick Powers' son, and the four of them are all going with you on your hunt to catch the nefarious and cowardly individual who has stolen the sword of his house, Alouette Takeda.
What, do you have anything for my current goal?
Your two current goals, one is investigate who's responsible for Mitsuru's death, which, I
got XP for that last time.
Yeah, and then get Lord Kyeda a wife.
Is that not also done?
Well, we're not married. That's the problem because I said I wouldn't marry until I solved her family's honor situation.
I gotcha. Okay, that one's just hanging out there then, just
waiting
on you. I'll come back around to me.
Very well,
think about
James.
it for a second.
Secure permission to chase the Takeda sword and get the blackjack working, or what I have for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we've obviously got permission to do that. So I guess the current thing really is now going to recover the sword because I wasn't sure how granular the steps on this should be. I thought it might take a while to actually get permission to do this, but it happened pretty quickly. So unless you want to give me XP for that, I'm happy just to change the goal to return with the sword.
I thought I did give you permission for.
You give me permission. I don't give you XP for it.
XP. I thought I gave you XP for it because.
Okay, if you feel like you did, then you probably did.
Well, now you're making me question it.
Look, I would never gaslight you, Arthur. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, James. So full of shit. Listen, this is what I need. An Eric Fulgaris style EXP log that includes the date of the XP change and the reason for it as well. Eric is a master at data entry in that regard, and it is flawless. And I should be so lucky to ever have that level of mastery over my own rewards.
All right, so to the people watching on YouTube or on Patreon, the call has gone out for the APGamingREAL official XP scribe. Apply at APGamingREAL@gmail.com.
No. We had 3 people sign up to be custodians for Solaris Knights, and they abandoned it after about 10 weeks. They could not keep up with the rate of episodes, and Tour Play has proven to be an excellent tool in regard for statistics.
You need to neg them some more. Treat them mean, keep them keen.
This is why James is married with children and I'm not. He negs the people that he allegedly loves. Hey, it's like I said on the Valentine's Day stream. I tolerate my audience and they thrive on my suffering. Okay, Andrew. my goals for you are have a good funeral and avenge Matsuri. And I think avenge Matsuri is kind of.
We did that one. You gave me XP for that one already. I think he wants to. I think we're going to replace the avenge Matsuri with learn to conduct himself in court better, or either learn how to conduct himself in court or how to act like a proper Draconis noble.
I see. I think
is that goal smart? I think we should focus on smart goals here.
That's a good.
So I think that we had an offline discussion about the weird situation where you were being invited to observe a class by Lord Cho Sung.
Yeah.
And you didn't really understand the circumstances behind it. And I revealed to you behind the scenes that it was because he observed that you basically had no courtly manners and was offering you a free in to audit his nephew's etiquette class so that you would also be able to pick up on it. A kind of very kind way of saying that, your manners are shit.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know that this is a bad goal. I also don't know that you can accomplish this quickly while you are on a foreign transit. But
yeah.
I think it is a good goal to have. I just don't know that it's a good goal to have now.
Yeah, I'll save that one and put that in my back pocket for later. I was trying to rewatch some Oath of Endosteel when they started going through this, because it's like, I feel like that's kind of a learning curve with the system. Is
Sure.
You have to, the only way to progress is to come up with goals and then to complete them. And so it's just trying to find something that's meaningful but also feasible to complete.
Sure. I mean, the alternative is that I give you XP for killing stuff, and then you start leveling cities.
Yeah, then we just start killing everything. Then we end up like Lachlan looking for nuclear weapons.
Boy, I don't know if you've seen the latest episode of Endosteel, but yes. Lachlan is in a lot of trouble, like usual.
Yeah, no, I watched that one over the weekend. Or sorry, Monday.
I wonder if, I don't want to say a goal about emotional recovery, but I wonder about a goal for deciding what the future course of your life is going to be now that you are essentially a widower. You're going on a long journey away from home. You still basically have not really cemented yourself as a casino owner. Akari has revealed that she's in with the Yakuza. As a result, I think that there's more than some inclination that your casino, hotel, resort idea may have more criminal elements lining up to take control of it than you originally anticipated. Your house still isn't built. I feel like a goal about figuring out where and how you're standing isn't a bad idea. You blast off into the stars.
Yeah, let me think about that one for a little bit, and I'll message you during the session.
Great. We come back around to Rad, who of course thought of a goal.
Okay, so I have some big goals that maybe you can help me break down into some smaller ones.
Sure.
I still want to establish strong financial footing for my house. And the way I thought I might do that is to lock down as part of a key chain in the logistical process of moving Nissan fusion engines. Because I know those are a big deal in the Draconis Combine.
Yes.
But chunking that down into more bite-size pieces. So that's one of my main goals. Another one of my main goals is so with Matsuri's death and Akari's sort of descent into Yakuza dealings, I feel like she needs to find a way, or at least she wants, this is probably not possible, but to her, right, she wants to find a way to kind of live the double life. And I think maybe one way she can do that is she needs to establish like a forward facing second in command for the house. So like she needs, and maybe that's tied in with finding a spouse. I'm kind of thinking it might be the move to find a spouse in like a very reputable house that can kind of bring some of that positive reputation over to her house so that she can continue to do like shady shit, like underneath a guise of reputability, right? Like she can't have it, but in her mind, she wants her cake and to eat it too, right?
Right.
She wants to be able to pull the curtain back over her house so that her house doesn't suffer for what she's doing, and so that her family is happy because she's moving them towards a legitimate business, but she wants to be able to not follow the rules and do whatever the fuck she wants to get done, whatever she wants to get done.
Okay, I'm going to move my hands, but my cameras are mirrored, so I don't know if it's going to move in the correct direction. What I'm hearing is that you want to take your house and elevate it like this. And I think your ideas are very interesting. And based on what I know is going to happen on the plot today, what's actually going to happen is the plot is going to smack into you and you're going to go flying.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I want to happen.
I really like the
record.
second idea because you're going to get slapped in the face with a fish today.
Okay.
So if you pick established, find a spouse from a reputable house, you are definitely going to get some options today.
Let's do that. Let's do that. It doesn't even have to be an on-planet house.
This one will be, though. It will be.
Just out of character, and this is just my thought, if it could be a female, I am looking for a way to avoid having to play pregnancy. Unless you have another idea of avoiding that. Like if you want to do a time skip and have the whole pregnancy be like off screen, then I'm cool with that.
I think cloning is a thing in Battletech,
but I don't want to play a pregnant lady, so
yeah.
Either having it be another woman or some other narrative out to being pregnant would be good. I don't feel like I could do that justice. And I also have ethical concerns with pregnant combatants, so I'd just rather not go down that road.
Amber, that's crazy. I remember the United States military has problems with pregnant combatants. Wow.
I know, wild.
I believe that even before the clan breeding process shows up, cloning does exist in the inner sphere. It's just
you have body doubles all the time, don't you?
Yeah. Like the cloned guy who replaced Ponstavian.
Yeah,
so I mean, if you
I would have a clone for a child.
Yeah, but you would create it from the two parents. You'd create a new entity, a new life.
So it would be a clone, but it would be like a child, developed out of utero.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
I don't know the correct terms, but
that's
you
fine.
would have a child.
I mean, like it'd be surrogacy.
A test tube baby, but it stays test tube all the way until maturation.
What did James call it a couple weeks ago? Turkey bastered?
I mean, I don't think it'd be too far out of the realm of possibility to assume that a noblewoman would have her child through surrogacy.
Surrogacy would probably be okay. I'm down with that.
To play an alternate character for a period to cover that off. That's the other option.
Says the guy playing an alternative character in Pendragon.
I'm cool with surrogacy, and in that case, it can be male or female spouse. I don't care which one. It doesn't matter.
The episode begins with a traditional Japanese funeral service. Many people wearing white rather than the sort of westernized black. And Matsuri is eulogized quite well. the outrage and anger that people have felt is not gone. But the person who perpetrated it has been found and brought to justice. And this is a somber and serious event. It is unfortunate then that the eulogizing and the recollections people have of her are often when she was much younger, because they do not want to insult her by saying what they really feel about her at the time that she died, which is that she was a little criminalizing gremlin who caused a lot of problems for people, which may not be what all of you believe, but you hear a lot of talk about young Matsuri, how she was as a child, that sort of thing. In the immediate aftermath of the ceremony, and I want to give you guys a chance to flash back and say if you had anything you wanted to do specifically during it, but in the immediate aftermath, there is the expectation that you will be departing very shortly, and the Baron would like to speak with the three of you when you're ready about how you'll be getting there and his expectations for your conduct along the way. So before we move to that, is there anything anyone wanted to do during the ceremony?
No, during the ceremony? I don't think so.
Okay.
There was something I wanted to do. What was the name of the group she was part of? The Deki Gora
Zoku?
Zoku? Yes.
So I mean, that's not the name of a group. It's like Yakuza, right? It generally describes
her clique.
Yeah, a gang.
Yeah. I want to, like, before her funeral, I want to get her compatriots together for like a private ceremony where like we meet up on like a cliff top. We eulogize her amongst ourselves, and then the last thing we do is we take her hover bike, set it on fire, and launch it over a cliff into the sea.
This is absolutely like 80% of this ceremony is them stoically getting through it, and then the hover bike going into the sea is way too rad. And you know,
not a dry eye in the house.
Yeah, no, right. Some of them set their hover bikes on fire and launched them over the top end of the sea. They're all rich. Their parents.
One of them even sets themselves on fire and launches himself over the sea.
Oh, I see. You've met a teenager before.
While playing the Black Parade.
He'll be fine.
An acoustic version of the Black Parade on My Chemical Romance.
Hey, listen. I hadn't thought about that song for years until Dungeons and Daddies had it be a major plot point.
That's right. The actual Black Parade.
Have you heard of a bone picking ceremony in Japanese funerals?
Oh, what?
A bone picking ceremony.
A bone picking ceremony. I assume it's not, I've got a bone to pick with you. I assume it's picking through someone's actual bones.
Yeah, well, it's what they do is if the body's cremated, the family use chopsticks to extract bones from the ashes, and they pass the bones around. It's the only time in Japanese culture that two people hold the same item with each of their chopsticks. And they move the significant bones into the funerary urn, which then goes to the tomb.
Interesting.
Yeah, never encountered it before.
Well, I guess you just encountered it right here in Battletech.
Yeah. It happens.
Right. It's on Wikipedia, so it's peer-reviewed.
No, it has to be true.
Yep. In the words of several different D&D DMs who are also actual play hosts, that happens.
I did my scene. I wanted to get with the Dekizaku guys, and
you can just say rich rebellious youth. It's a lot easier to say in English.
The swoop bike gang.
We were gonna Viking.
Gang. Oh god, they have their multicolored space Vespas.
Wait, didn't she have like a black? Or no, wait, was it a white leather jacket?
Yes, it was a white jacket. I don't believe it was leather, but she did have leather pants.
Okay, I want to find a way to keep that jacket.
Okay, I mean, She was wearing that jacket when she was
Yes,
killed, so it's
I'm
got
aware.
bullet holes in it. All right.
Bullet holes and blood stains. That's how I
Yeah.
want it to be.
I assume someone cleaned the bloodstains up, but yeah,
no.
definitely
I want it with the blood stains.
Oh, well, it probably smells horrible then. Are
Blood
you
stains don't
wearing it
stink.
at the ceremony?
No, but I
Oh
might
my
wear it at some point when I want to kill somebody.
Wow, that's so dark. Okay.
I believe the term is metal, Arthur.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Well, that's what you could call it.
Didn't she
like
also have
because-
some like really like outrageously long sword that she carried around too?
No, that's me. I carry an outrageously
No,
long
that's
sword.
just-
Oh, she did have a longer one, didn't she?
She did
Or
have
no?
a long sword, but I also believe that you might just be thinking of the image of Kason that I posted.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I base part of her visual look on Kason, but she's also not Kason, so.
You know how part of maybe you didn't know this in the Twilight Batman, the Batman with Peterson, his bat symbol is made from the parts of the gun that shot his parents. I'm going for that vibe. This bloody jacket.
I didn't watch that Batman.
It's really good. It's not really good. It's good. It's worth a watch. Yes. The soundtrack and sound design alone is chef's kiss. Very good.
I'll say this about DC comic book movies. And until this moment, I hadn't had this thought, and now I feel like it's totally correct. The level of quality of them has remained steady for like 40 years. They will always be summer superhero movies of kind of extremely middling quality. And Marvel has done this yo-yoing shit that is so annoying. Rad's
I guess
not
I would
agreeing
mostly
with
agree
me.
with that. No, I think I would mostly agree with that.
Because just
I think
remember,
there's-
Arnold Schwarzenegger was Mr. Freeze.
I know. I think there are standouts though, right? Like,
Sure.
I think, Nolan's Batman is a little higher than everything else. And then you have like this DCU is like lower than everything else, with
Yeah.
a few exceptions. There's a couple of decent movies in there.
None of them are
And
Aquaman.
none of them even have Aquaman in them, Arthur. And then
I think
the
Aquaman has Aquaman in it, but all right.
Yeah, but none of them are good. I'm saying no movie with Aquaman in it is a good movie.
I agree.
Yeah. But I think I don't know. The internet might come for me. I think the Peterson Batman it's above the mediocre line.
Okay.
I don't know if it's on Nolan, but I think it's above the mediocre line. And I never saw the Joker. Right. I heard it was really good too, though.
Okay.
But it's good. I'll keep this tangent as short as I can. It's a really good movie about Gotham, and it's a decent movie about Batman. But I think if Gotham City was the character, it's the best Gotham City we've ever gotten in a Batman movie. The way they do the Penguin is fantastic. The way they do all the organized crime is fantastic. But the Batman is Batman's passable.
The 89 Gotham, like the heavily industrialized
with Prince and Tim Burton as the city planner. No, but
yeah, I think you mean Patterson, by the way, not Peterson. Patterson.
Sorry, yes.
Yep.
The atmospherics in this movie are super good,
Okay.
I would say.
Andrew, I've got reconcile Siegfried's soldier identity with his identity as a samurai as your goal.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that sound something attainable?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
that's up to you how attainable that is.
Is it specific, measurable, achievable? Is it relevant? Is time oriented? Come on.
What are you, somebody's boss?
Yeah, this is a real
Yes, I-
business manager talk. And not even this middle manager talk right here.
Right.
I imagine James said that while reading from a clipboard. If there's nothing else you'd like to do, the Baron is basically having a conversation with the three of you.
At the funeral? After the funeral?
Immediately after the funeral.
Okay.
Like,
Gotcha.
people
Is this
are
like a
still
conversation?
moving
We're all standing outside of his limousine and he's speaking to us
out.
from
No,
like a half
it
rolled
is-
down window?
No, it's at the funeral takes place at a sprawling series of estates that butt up, like a noble graveyard that's part of his estates. And so he is speaking to you in a private room out of the cold and weather.
Okay.
And he says, I would like to speak to all of you about your upcoming trip. I spoke with the Krasnojoy Prefecture governor, military governor, General Kim, and he has loaned the use of a merchant-class jump ship, the Kintsurukore. Kintsukuroi. He said it correctly if I did not, and I did it. And I have secured the personal contract of a mule dropship, the Biwako. These two ships will travel with you several jumps into the Outworlds Alliance. The place that Alouette Takeda has been seen going to is the planet of Lushan 8. It is unusual in being a periphery world that has a hyperpulse generator. But it is quite unusual in that it is a world with only about 50,000 inhabitants, many of whom live underground because the atmosphere outside is so cold you would die immediately. Entry into the Outworlds is normally extremely restricted, and Draconis Combine soldiers would not be allowed in. Because you are samurai and nobles, such restrictions are being lifted. And if you wish, your battle mechs may come with you. But do not think that you can simply shoot your way through this situation. I expect that you may need for some finesse on the ground. Among 50,000 people, there are not many places that Alouette can hide. But I do not know why he has run there. The only major point of interest on planet, and in fact the most major employer, is a factory for lasers. The Draconis Combine, and indeed my house as one of them, invests in this factory, and perhaps ironically, the major buyer of the lasers is, and advertised to, the Federated Sons.
So, Osama, could Alouette be looking to defect?
His thought processes are beyond me. He has dishonored his family and the history of the Takeda family in stealing this sword, and he has left his country of origin behind. He may be capable of anything.
If the majority of what happens on Lushan 8 takes place underground, it seems unlikely that battle mechs would provide any additional benefit.
Normally, you would be correct, but as mentioned, the factories there are for battle mech level laser weaponry. And so not only do they have several underground testing ranges, but it is very easy to get battle mechs into the factories underground and move through them as hold on, my brain has completely farted. What are they called? Industrial mechs? Industrial mechs are used heavily in the creation of these particular weapons.
One other question of a personal nature, Sugar-sama. In the execution of our duties, we promised to move some individuals off this world. They are not relevant to the duties of this world, but will we have room on the transportation you have arranged to take 2 adults and 2 children? Is that right?
3 children.
3 children.
The mule is more than capable of hosting such additional passengers. It can hold almost 9,000 tons of cargo. I expect you, your companions, and your battle mechs will not make up a fraction of what goes with it. I would ask that you inform the captain as soon as possible so that he can set aside space for all such individuals and mechs. I expect that he will be traveling with goods that are of high value in the Outworlds namely arms.
I will bow respectfully in assent to what I've been asked to do.
Is there more?
There isn't anymore. As you are leaving this meeting, Akari, you get a electronic mail on your data tablet.
Oh boy.
It is from your mother indicating that the father of orphans, aka the Oyabin of the Yakuza, the Shinsen Gumi, would like to speak with you at your earliest convenience.
This is the boss of my family, not
Yep.
the boss of bosses.
Not the boss of bosses.
Okay. I reply with the thumbs up emoji.
Okay, she sends you back a immediate reply that says, "It's not cute when you do that. You are an adult."
I type another thumbs up emoji and hover over the send button and then think better of it and decide
need to
just to
send-
not respond at all.
Mixed messages, like just send back a croissant emoji.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
A
Send her
croissant
eggplant. No.
emoji?
Yeah.
There's no internet, so your mom furiously begins contacting youthful individuals to figure out what the slang is for croissant.
Yeah. Croissant and then like raindrops. All right. I'll make my way over there eventually.
Making your way.
Yep.
Is there anything anyone wants to do before that happens?
Somebody do something before that happens, so I go check on my children real quick.
So, okay. Well, I guess a question for Andrew then. What do you think about taking Battlemechs with us? I mean, we can take them on the dropship and not deploy them if necessary. So it's one of those things where I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But it also means doing things like taking techs as well.
Right. My question is the mule outfitted with mech bays, or is it all just cargo bays and they have to be secured as cargo?
This particular mule, as far as you know from him, is cargo only, not mech bayed.
So we've got to mothball them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm all for bringing our battle mechs with us. I would feel naked going to another world without our battle mechs. I am concerned about mothballing them and just how long it's going to take for them to get ready once we land on world.
Well, in game rules, 48 hours.
Right, but that's 48 hours is still a long time to be without a battle mech on a foreign planet.
But by not taking one means that you're there a lot longer without one. So
right,
that seems to play the logic of take it then.
Yeah, I'm all for taking it. I'm just my concern is how long we'll be without them.
Okay, I need to talk to Poe then to prepare.
We have to not piss anyone off for 2 days.
Wow. What a low bar. Player characters.
If we have any time before we take off, I think I'll go audit that class.
When you are leaving to go audit that class, as you leave, the samurai known as Red Hime comes up to the heir of House Kyeda and says, "Do you have a moment?
Of course.
There are rumors that your group is heading into the Outworlds."
I stare at her, like waiting for her to finish this sentence.
Okay. She waits in a uncomfortable silence for a few seconds before saying, "You will recall that we've previously had a conversation about how to break into Outworld society by intermarrying nobility into their ranks. Obviously, this isn't a possibility for you who are betrothed, but Siegfried Arnsson is, I don't know, a widower?
Indeed, he is. Exactly.
it may be beneficial for our planet, our city, and for himself in order to find a new bride during his trip. Someone of nobility and distinguishment.
Indeed, that makes sense.
I know that this may come off as cruel, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I sort of like raise an eyebrow, like I don't know what's cruel about what you're talking about. But anyway, I will talk to him about it.
Okay.
Obviously, it's his decision to make, but I will emphasize the clear benefit as we previously discussed.
It gives you
Obviously, I'm not expecting a betrothal to come straight away, but the legwork can certainly begin.
She gives you a nod and a slight bow before turning and leaving the funeral. Well, Raddosaurus, it's time for you to go talk to the big guy.
Well, sorry, before you go, Akari. So while you were just having that conversation before, Siegfried and I discussed the possibility of taking mechs with us to Lushan 8. The general feeling was that it'd be better to take them and not need them than to need them and not have them. They will have to be mothballed for transit because the dropship is a cargo dropship, not a combat dropship. But I think that, for the risk of the mechs not being ready on the exact day we need to fight, the risk of not having them at all is probably even greater. So unless you have an issue with it, I was going to speak with my techs about organising my mech. Rat took his headphones off. So.
Yeah, it looks like you might be having a power issue with the Wi-Fi.
Right.
Technical difficulties. Can we do that? Is that copyrighted? This is parody. It was less than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Brad, are you back?
I'm back. Sorry, my headphones are.
Yep. James had a question for you.
I'm here. Ask me
I
a
was just
question.
saying. I was just simply telling you that Siegfried and I discussed the possibility of taking mechs with us to the Shine 8, and we came to the conclusion that we would rather have them with us and not need to deploy them than require them and not necessarily have them. So we have favoured towards taking the mechs, although they will need to be transported as cargo and mothball because the dropship is not a combat dropship, it's a cargo dropship. But unless you see any reason why we specifically shouldn't, I think the mechs should go with us.
Nope, I fully agree.
Very well. Also, I had a brief discussion with Red Hime regarding her. I don't know if I spoke to you about her original proposal that the Combine would potentially benefit from us having one of the Combine nobles marry into a Outworlds family in order to establish new lineages in the Outworlds and bring them back into the Combine fold. But as she pointed out, the possibility would exist that Siegfried is now unencumbered, so to speak, and he may no longer be seeking a marriage of romance, potentially a marriage of political significance, maybe of benefit. But I'll discuss it with him during the trip. I just want to mention it to you because you know these things better than I do.
Yeah, I too also have my eye out for a smart match, so I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, I apologize. I hadn't even I didn't think that way. I'd always thought that you were very much
doomed to be alone.
No,
Yeah,
able
most
to
people
look
think that.
after that yourself.
No offense taken. I am looking after it myself.
All right. Sorry. You right there, Arthur?
Yeah. Sorry, I took a stray. Akari, what are you wearing to your meeting with the leader of the Shinsengumi, the Oyabin Satoru?
The bloodstained jacket. Do it.
Oh, that
Yeah, the bloodstained
certainly.
jacket. No. I'll wear.
Brad's googling pictures of Anna on a card now to work out which outfit she looks best in.
No, I should. I've fallen out of that habit. I need to get back into it. Something to emphasize my samurai status.
That's so funny, given what this meeting's going to be about.
I know. I don't know what it's going to be about, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be bad for me, and I want to lean
don't we
into
still
that
have
as much
that,
as possible.
Don't we still have that samurai armor that dude showed up wearing?
I think it. Oh, that's yeah, he took it off for the fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely something like samurai adjacent. Like I'm not strolling in here in full samurai armor, but it's got like
Sure. Look,
the
we've
style
seen,
of robe that they wear underneath their armor.
yeah, we've seen Last Samurai, right? Like,
Yeah,
is it Ken
it's
Watanabe?
probably
He wore several fantastic outfits throughout,
yes.
which were not pieces of
It's
armor.
that, but it's kind of neo 80s, like a little more form fitting, right? Like it's got some
I thought you were gonna
modern
wear
flair
Star
to it
Wars
a little bit.
Jedi
Yeah.
robes.
Yeah,
I mean, they were obviously inspired by. Okay, you show up to the meeting dressed with samurai influence, which certainly raises quite a few eyebrows among all of the Yakuza dressed in immaculate business suits.
Yes.
She's like Oberishi in like the traditional garb of
A
it.
little bit. Yeah.
What's that line she has? Silly little white girl, and then absolutely gets destroyed in like 3 minutes flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. After an appropriate period of time of waiting, in order to let you know how important the person that you're meeting is above your station, which is uncomfortable since you don't normally you're the one who has other people waiting for them. And it is weird that a crime lord is forcing a samurai to wait. You are ushered into a formal rice-paneled, tatami-matted room that's large enough for both of you, and several wall scrolls and other iconography that indicate the level of corruption and power that this organization has. As you sit across from Tamasatoru, who is the Oyabin of the gang, there's a short, very short, like if you're kneeling on your knees, it's barely above the top of your knee, height table between the two of you as he gestures to you to sit down across from him.
I'll be seated.
So he is sort of half Japanese, half European mix of an older man, silvery hair at the temples sort of deal. He has a thick midsection, and I want to be clear, I don't mean like THICC. I mean like a guy who maybe has a little bit of weight over top of a very powerful core. Kind of like a proto sumo wrestler. And he is a big guy who basically towers over you, and he gestures sort of openly with his hand and says, "It is my understanding that you have brought to our organization the power of Shibaka. Am I to now be the master of this city as well, based on your actions?"
Out of character, give me some context. What is he talking about?
The city you just came from, where you removed certain Yakuza from power and started a power play. He's
what
basically
does
saying,
Shibaka
like,
refer to?
He's asking you whether he's supposed to move in there now or not.
Oh, okay. Because we went in there and basically destabilized the whole situation. It was already destabilized, but we how do I respond to this?
You can take time in and out of character to respond to it. It's not sort of question one responds quickly or glibly to.
Does he seem? What is he? Let me get. How do I insight check this guy? What's
He
his
is very
current
neutral.
situation?
I think that dice roll is definitely required.
For sure. I'm gonna roll these green dice over here next to my name.
Let me get them up on screen real quick. Well, a 10 is
10.
pretty good. It would be wisdom perception, I believe.
I think I'm okay at that.
Yeah. How okay?
Let's see. My wisdom is a +1.
Okay. That's an 11.
And my perception is a 0, so +1.
You get a pretty solid read on him. He is a whole range of emotions right now. He is upset that his life's plan that he's been working towards for over 20 years has been ruined. But he's also eager because there's a new venture on the table. It's a sort of one door closes, another one opens situation.
Sure. I'll respond. I would not presume to tell you what you will and won't do, or what you should or shouldn't do.
That's wise.
That organization is in complete disarray. And the individuals they have poised to lead it into the future are not nearly as capable as the leadership we have here.
I had not dreamed of expanding my station beyond this city. And now it would seem that we must act quickly.
I'll be frank and honest. I did not go over there and do what I did with the intentions of furthering your empire. I did what I did to save our people from the scorn of our city's lord. Because if I had not brought him answers, he would have sought them at our front door. Now, despite my intentions, I wouldn't begrudge you capitalizing on any opportunities that have been laid before you.
It is not only an opportunity, it is now an imperative. It must be done. For if we do not do it, someone else will take advantage of their weakness. And while we have a strong claim due to your actions, we are not the only one. I had hoped to remove you and this organization from this life, but we will now move strongly in the opposite direction. It is time for you to officially join us. I would have you inherit your mother's position from her in time.
How do you foresee that affecting my position within the council?
Your mother can more extensively explain her plan to expand the power of this organization and your future going forward. As part of our ceremonies, when one joins the Yakuza, they drink from a cup of sake that their introducee has drank from first. All of my current officers have drank from my cup, and you will drink from your mother's cup. She is waiting for you down the hall. She will explain to you the plan for your future.
So out of character, would this be like, is he proposing I openly become a Yakuza, like public forward facing?
No, but he is basically telling you you are a Yakuza now. He's not just to be very clear, this
He's
is
not really
a-
asking.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
asking you. He's telling you
Right.
that you are a Yakuza now, and it's
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to go to your mom and get your tattoos and fulfill all the ceremonies.
So
Whether
based on what I know,
publicly become a Yakuza or not, that hasn't been part of this discussion. It's clear that your mom has a plan for you.
okay, I can trust in that.
It should be noted once again that this is a lot of very direct talk from a traditionalist in a society where direct talk is
Not the norm.
correct. Like,
Yeah.
this is the part of the conversation where he's pissed and he's telling you how it's going to be because of the position you forced him into.
Right. I won't say anything. I'll just bow because I understand that this is not a question. And will prepare myself to leave.
Okay.
And I'll go see my mom.
Your mother is waiting for you at, I don't know what these things are called. It is a short table that has a platform on it that spins. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we just lost Red. You know, cut
Okay.
out our conversation while you were gone.
All right. Yeah, so I go to my mom.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this bad boy lined up. All right, sorry, audience. We had technical issues. Obviously, we're back now. We have determined that the name of this device is called a Lazy Susan. I believe that is a form of cabinetry. It's the only time I've ever seen it, but apparently I'm wrong.
It's tableware. It can be either.
Okay, all right. So she has a bottle of sake in the middle of it and 2 cups. And it is, as you come in, she pours some into each cup, some sake, and gestures for you to sit. This is not your mom casual. This is not your mom raising you. This isn't even your mom business. This is your mom wearing like the funerary clothes from her niece, or Matsuri. I'm losing it tonight, guys. From Matsuri's funeral. She has also come directly from there. But she has opened it up enough so that you can see that she is covered in Yakuza tattoos. And she gestures for you to sit and says, I had hoped that this would not be the path that we would need to take. But there are opportunities now that we can seize based on exploits that you have opened for us. Sit and let's talk.
I sit down. I did what had to be done.
There is no questioning that. Matsuri needed to be avenged. There is an opportunity for you going forward to become the most powerful person in Hangetsu Bay. I understand that you will be leaving us shortly. The Baron Nosagi's son is returning shortly. Hiro. There is an opportunity here if you were capable of charming Hiro into a marriage. The heir of such a line would inherit baronial power while combining our bloodlines. But more importantly, that if my maneuverings and your actions within the Shinsen Gumi are strong and righteous enough, you may one day become Oyabin of this organization. Satoru has no heir. You could be the leader of the city, both in the public face and in the shadows, where everything actually gets done. The most powerful individual in Hangetsu Bay, completely unmatched and unrivaled. This is the path that I see before you?
I will do as I've always done, which is whatever it takes. I will seat whichever throne, and I will wed whichever noble I must in order to exercise protection and control over my family and this city.
Your mother gestures for you to take a sip from your own sake cup while she takes a sip from hers. It is extremely formal. Hands held at an angle, one hand underneath the glass, a very slow bow as part of the process. And when she places hers down, he flips it so that the two of you switch glasses.
Can I add a bit where
Listen, you can do whatever bit you want here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna, before I mirror her and do exactly what she did with the same cup of sake, I'm gonna have my sword, and I'm gonna do a very ceremonial presentation where I lay it down in front of me, prostrate my services, so to speak, as a samurai to this house, and then I'll drink the sake.
Incredible, because as a samurai, your mom owes you fealty.
Yeah. And that's like, I want it to be reciprocal, right? Like this isn't this is a marrying of two worlds, in her mind anyway. Obviously, I'm as a player, I sincerely hope this is doomed to disaster. But as a character, right, like she's very excited for this new role. I think she secretly harbored these ambitions all along.
We did not discuss anything like this, but I know you've been hoping for outs or different paths. And I was like, just doing the math here, if you just went ahead and married that baronial kid, you'll basically become like, the Shang Tsung of, you just be like, I am impossible and invincible.
Yeah. I need my next character to be the baby Baron.
Aiming real far down the line here, thinking 20 years ahead.
Yeah. If it's anything like Oath, we're going to have a big time skip at some point. At some point, we're all going to have heirs, and we'll all make the decision, like, is it time to move characters?
The time skip will be the beginning of clan invasion. We'll do like 1 year of it, and then we'll time skip to the jihad.
To the end.
Gonna completely skip over the FedCom Civil War.
Yeah, I know.
What a troll for your audience.
They would fucking explode.
Not a single clan arc of any kind. That'd be incredible. What a five-head
Akari
move.
just keep referring back to those amazing things that happened during the war.
You'd have to clarify which war, because there's like 4, but in that time
No, we wouldn't. Yeah. We wouldn't clarify.
Oh, you wouldn't have to clarify.
We'll have to do a one-off episode. It's the April 1st episode.
It's Battletech. It's not going to be that bad. There will almost certainly be a time skip down the line, but it's definitely not going to be start of clan invasion to jihad.
Several eras.
I seriously considered it for weeks, though. I was like, but what if I did? I've spent so much time doing clan invasion on different shows, and I'm about to do it on Endosteel as well. And I was like, what if I trolled my audience so hard? And then I finally came to the conclusion that while I might find it funny, no one else would get that level of humor from me. There would be 100 people who watch the show that are like, why did they do that? Okay, you and your mom complete the ceremony. There's a montage of you getting the secret Yakuza tattoos of this particular gang. So, look, I know that the media would have you believe that Yakuza run around flashing their tattoos all the time. That's absolutely total bullshit. Like some get, like full length arm tattoos and such, but like the main tattoos in the middle
Torso.
core of your body are completely hidden at all times.
I've seen 80s action movies. All right, they go to bathhouses and have sword fights with their shirt off, so you can see their tattoos.
Sure, yeah.
It's true.
Yes, well, the Yakuza own those bathhouses, so they can just tell everyone to get out when they're ready to go bathing.
Wouldn't that be a problem for her, though? Doesn't she spend, like, most of her public images her chilling on her yacht in her bathing suit?
It's true.
That's not a problem for me to figure out. That's a problem for Akari and Genji to figure out.
I'm sure there's some waterproof, like, concealer she can put on.
Or she can move to a more mature image, the full body,
That's true, yeah.
Oh, the
An elegant one piece.
Yes.
the bikini.
The burkini, I don't know if that's what I would consider a more elegant, mature look. It's certainly a look. And hey, that's the way you want to go. I think Akari Genji can pull it off, but only because she has pretty privilege.
That's right.
Sorry, my mom was telling me about pretty privilege this week, and I was like, it's 2024. This is the first time you've heard about this? You're in your 70s. It's like when she tried to explain to me what swatting was, and I was like, no, that's wrong. That's completely wrong. That's not what swatting is. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before you blast off on the Biwako, the mule dropship?
I wouldn't mind, maybe, if it's right, doing the scene where I go tell Poe about doing this.
Okay. Because he has to come along. You have to bring
that's right.
a full 7-man technical team for each of your mechs.
Well, I mean, don't you? So my understanding is normally that you would only take your head tech.
Sure.
And they would hire Aztecs on the world that you're going to. But
all right. If you feel that you can trust foreign nationals with your private,
probably not when you're going there as a recon force, to be honest. But yeah, all right. We'll take Aztecs then.
Okay.
Do any of our houses have like any soldiers? Like, can we take any
I believe
infantry
you guys
with
rolled
us?
up soldiers as part of your
right,
house
actually.
assets, right?
Yes.
Yeah, something there.
Yep.
That's in the
Now, these
other
dropship, the
spreadsheet.
mule doesn't have like unlimited carrying capacity.
Right,
but
right, right.
it can,
I don't think
it
we
can
have.
bring some people with you if you want, and you can hire mercenaries. And I don't mean like mercenaries with mechs. You can hire mercenaries with guns pretty easily.
Mhm.
You have a mercenary liaison officer. You can probably just walk down a local Comstar, what's it called? The VFW. Just flash his badge and be like, all right, I'm going to need 5 men, proficiency with small arms, specifically Ingram Mac 10. Got 3 months on the docket here.
Yeah, I have 12 skilled combatants and 1 squad of militia.
Okay.
I have 1 militia squad and 14 support personnel for tanks. I don't know. I have a note here that says tanks, APCs, mechanized infantry, light aircraft, and VTOLs.
Yeah, people who are skilled in using the secondary vehicles.
At those
of
things,
Battletech.
okay. But I don't necessarily have those things, do I?
No, you don't. You
I
need
don't
to
have tanks and
acquire or
VTOLs
buy
and
them.
shit like that.
No, but
Okay.
all of those people are trained soldiers.
Okay.
You have a 30-year-old Honda Civic they drive.
Sick. That's what
That's
I like.
so hateful of you to say.
Can I get that upgraded to a Hilux?
As a CRV
how many people
owner,
are in
I'm
a,
outraged.
How many people in a militia squad are there?
28, I believe is the
I was going to
Battletech
say as many as there wants to be. I think with a militia squad.
with the militia.
Yeah, 28's a standard squad in Battletech.
Infantry platoon, yes.
Yeah. Is it too much to bring my squad?
You're gonna need to have a conversation with the captain for sure. Bringing, I mean, in total right now, just with you bringing your infantry squad, a platoon, you'll be looking at like 40 plus people, including.
So then I just kind of want to
Chadwick.
send him an electronic mail,
Okay, you sent him an
right?
electronic
Asking
mail.
him about like, does he have his own security detail? Like, what does he, what, you know, I can provide a security detail if he's, you know, just to have that conversation in like in mail,
About
basically.
20 seconds later, you get a call on your mobile device.
Okay. Give me 20 seconds.
All right, we're gonna wait the full real 20 seconds for that call.
Depending on how this goes, I'm more than open to trying to hire like either like mercenary marines or mercenary techs to go with us.
Okay, I'm back. I just let it ring a couple times and then I answer it.
Is this the mech warrior Akari Genji?
Speaking.
This is Captain Lee Shu of the Biwa Co.
That's
I
good
had
to speak with you.
some concerns about your email that I wanted to address with you directly.
Certainly. Let's address them.
The Biwa Co. is rated for 20 crewmen. We run light as a merchant ship, so we could certainly billet your men. Gathering the supplies needed, I will invoice your lord. But it should be noted that there will be an additional cost due to the loss of cargo space that will be necessary for the mechs, the mech techs, this infantry squad. You had some concerns about our personal arms. All of my naval ratings are trained regularly with pistols and other border rejection gear. And his accent kind of changes, and you get a little cocky swagger as he says, "We hold our own in spaceport brawls in the bars. But we are not a military force. This is a civilian transport." I need to ask, are you a military force? Is this a invasion under pretext?
Does he not know our mission? Is he supposed to know?
He doesn't sound like he
I don't
knows.
know. Doesn't sound like he knows.
We're not, are we?
We're not really.
I don't need to know why you're going there. I'm only asking because if this is a military invasion, I'd just like to get things right with both my creditors and insurers.
I have no intention of burdening you, Captain. This is not a military invasion. It is, however, a delicate diplomatic situation with 4 ranking nobles from the city, and I'm sure you understand that we have to be security-minded whenever we travel abroad. So I appreciate your clarification. Again, I have no desire to run up an unnecessary bill with our sponsor, nor to disrupt your typical operations any more than necessary. If you can assure our safety to and from, then I can accept that.
I can offer you standard guarantees for dropship travel to and from the planet. As for what happens via jump ship transit, you'd need to speak to the jump ship captain if you want insurances for that. Ships are occasionally lost during Ernie Fuchida jumps. It's exceedingly rare.
I find those assurances acceptable. I appreciate your call. I'm glad we had this opportunity to clarify.
I look forward to having you and your crew on board. I will note that we are only bringing 3 months worth of rations and supplies, and it will take several weeks transit in both directions. So our time on planet will be limited to 1 month. Any longer than that, and you'll need to procure local supplies.
Can you tell me if there are any additional stops planned
There are several stops along the way. We will not be landing on any of those planets, however.
Could that be arranged if it was necessary?
Yes.
Very
Doing
I'm
so
not
would greatly extend our time.
Now, when I ask about landing, I'm not asking like obviously the jump ship doesn't land, right? They just
Right, the
ferry
jump
us
ship
down.
stays at the transit point. The
Right,
drop
right.
ship travels to the planet. It takes about 7 days
Several
in each direction.
days though. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
the dropship stays at the Lagrange point. And
Again, I have no desire to disrupt you any more than necessary, but if you could send me our itinerary as far as stops go, I would very much appreciate it.
Okay. The itinerary. Are you ready to write this down?
I am.
Folks at home can open their copy of gruz.de/innersphere, the unofficial Battletech jump calculator.
I'm ready now.
Valentina to Niles, Niles to Medrin, Medrin to Kincaid 2, and Kincaid 2 to Lushan, and then landing on the planet Lushan 8. 7.
It's after Medrin.
Medrin is Kincaid 2. It's Lushan 8.
And then Lushan.
Lushan, yes. So you will be traveling into the Federated Suns under, like diplomatic transit through a country on your way to another country.
we've all played Civilization. We know how that works.
Okay. If you want to stop on Niles and Medrin, it will be a diplomatic situation. If you want to stop on Kincaid 2, that's less diplomatic.
Are any of these good candidates for powers?
What do you mean by powers?
Don't we got to drop him off in his family somewhere?
I mean, yeah, like Lushan is fine though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, if he can find work there, I guess he can live there.
I want to look each of these places up
if you
on
wanted
like.
to, listen, Rad, if you really want to troll super hard, I believe Niles is within jump range of Whittington, and Whittington would
boy.
not be a diversion. You can go from Niles to Whittington and Whittington to Kincaid 2 still. If you want to drop Chadwick Powers off on Whittington and we could do a crossover.
I absolutely do.
I was say, wouldn't the opportunity also exist because jump ships carry multiple drop ships that,
Yes.
effectively, if we're on a jump ship that goes to a system and there's another drop ship there, and that drop ship is going in system in that system,
Yes.
that somebody on our drop ship could transfer to that drop ship and get off somewhere along the route, basically.
Yes.
Like
All
like
that
a
is
one-way
true.
flight, right?
However, the merchant can only carry 2 drop ships.
Mm.
But yeah.
I absolutely want to put him on Whittington 1,000%.
Okay.
100,000,000%.
Chadwick Powers, guests on Oath of Endosteel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you make that alteration. For some reason, you're very much drawn to a backwater that is not considered it. The only thing that is really well known about it is that it is Valentina's rival world.
Here's the thing. It's incredibly significant to Akari.
Oh, right, because your dad's
that's
from
the
there.
family that spurned her, right?
Yes.
Like she has every intention of eventually taking revenge on
House
like
Genji,
the greater
yeah.
Genji house. And
Okay.
she would love to have eyes and ears and a point of contact for that
are
planet.
you programming this guy to be an undercover agent on
I am
planet?
absolutely putting him on the payroll.
I'm gonna need a
And,
roll
like,
for that.
You work for me now. This is what we're doing. I don't need anything from you other than just eyes and ears, hands and feet.
I need a roll.
Let's do it.
Definitely some form of persuasion charisma. Wow, that's actually a good roll.
Okay. Because I can re-roll it if it's not good enough.
What's your bonuses? So for the folks listening and not watching, it's a 9 on the dice roll.
I have a +1 for persuade.
Okay, a 10. I think you can add Chadwick Powers to the list of assets that your house has,
Okay.
which will also improve your end of year rolls going forward in the future because you have an asset. So when you have access to a hyperpulse generator, you can send him messages and get responses within a few weeks, sometimes days, depending on how much you want to pay.
Chadwick Powers, Whittington contact.
So we have a scene where you give the lowdown to Chadwick on his new position as your first henchman.
I mean, he can start a life and do whatever he wants, right? I'm just
Yeah.
offering him a generous stipend to, you know, maybe he becomes the head chef for House Genji.
House Genji already famously has a head chef, but yeah, I understand
I
what
mean,
you
for
mean.
now, you know, he could fall down some stairs onto some bullets or something. It happens
Jesus.
from time to time.
He fell down an elevator shaft onto some bullets.
Onto some bullets. I shovel well. What a great movie.
There will never again be the ghost of your father's skull in the bowling ball level of superheroism like that. That was perfection.
A bygone era, like truly never to be seen again. Mr. Furious.
Yeah, I'm trying to get mad.
When he's trying to break the hood ornament off the car or whatever. Oh my God. If you haven't seen it, kids, come on.
I can only become invisible when no one's looking at me. Oh my
Before
God.
you can deliver a balanced attack, you must first learn to balance attack hammer. Something like that. I don't know. Why am I wearing these watermelons on my feet? I don't remember telling you to do that.
It's Mystery Men for all of you youth out there that have no idea what we're talking about. We're talking about Mystery Men. If you've ever wondered where that Smash Mouth song, that's the only one that anyone knows, comes from, it's from that movie.
It's terribly mysterious.
If you watch the music video has scenes from the
Clips
movie.
from the movie.
Okay, so you've officially got Chadwick Powers on your side, and you it doesn't sound like you're inducting him as a member of the family, essentially, but you are. You can if you want to.
Is he interested in that?
I mean, he's definitely interested in having some protection from his past coming back to bite him.
Okay,
He's in a pretty similar situation to Alouette Takeda, where he's not exactly running away with somebody's sword, but he is a loose end.
That's part of the deal then. Serve me well, right? And then like in 6 months, if I'm satisfied with your service, I'll bring you into the family.
Okay. He thought he was getting out, and then she pulled him back in. It was the only life he knew.
Right. You cook well.
In a way, deep down,
now you cook for me.
He was glad. He didn't know what he was going to do with himself. Now, even in his fury, at least he has direction.
And how old is the girl?
You sound like M. Bison.
How old is the girl? His ward?
Quite young. Very young. Listen, I'm not good with kids' ages. Okay. I don't know. Is 6 a good age for a kid? Like, they walk around and talk at 6, right?
Yes.
Jesus, I'm sorry. I don't talk to many kids regularly.
I'll tell you what, at 6, they're talking back.
Okay, well.
They got little personalities at 6. They're fucking with you. Okay. If she was older, I would like sponsor her for like some sort of school or training, but it sounds like it's a little early for that.
Yeah.
How old is his children? Are either of his children?
Pretty similar age.
Okay. All right. I'll leave the children thing to him then for a while.
I think that when getting on the dropship, you meet his girlfriend for the first time. And it is the very stereotypical gangster girlfriend with like big hoop earrings made of gold, tons of gold jewelry, and like high heels and a ridiculous dress of like Italian designer, completely chosen absolutely for her looks, 100%.
chewing gum with an
I
open
was going to
mouth.
say chewing gum. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You got that like really thick Jersey accent.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I'm glad that I could describe part of this character, and we all understand what I'm talking about here.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
There does seem to be pretty genuine affection between the two of them, though. Although she seems to have a very poor understanding of how zero gravity is about to work. Which he's trying to explain to her that like she needs to get in a jumpsuit, and she's like, "This doesn't match my style at all." And he's like, "Yeah, but you're gonna need to be in a jumpsuit for like the whole voyage."
Let her have that thing where she's barfing every time we go into a jump.
Transit disorientation
That's
syndrome.
true. Disorientation.
Why are you
Yeah.
so cruel to this woman? You've known her for less than a minute, and you want to ruin her life?
Look, if Butch McGirt can do it, anybody can. Okay, you give him the horse feeder, let him go to town.
I love that Butch McGurk was also selected to go on a multi-year transit mission to the clan homeworlds, despite having this condition. What a cruel punishment on his life.
People are like, play Butch McGirt again in a one shot. I'm like, he 100% just died on the trip there. Like he didn't even make it. It's like he never returned.
Wow. This kind of feels like a place to end, honestly. And I think we'll pick up next time with montage scenes from the journey. I don't want to be like, we're going to stop at every jump and talk about how you're feeling. But I just want to, if you have anything that your characters want to process on what will be longer than a month of traveling to yourselves on a ship that will have, I mean, you're going to know less than 100 people for an entire month, and you're going to spend all of your time around them.
Mhm.
So if there's anything you want to do privately, anybody you want to get to know, maybe you want to get to know Captain Li Shu a little better, or any of your techs. I know that we've seen several of them in the past. Any family members you brought with you, men at arms, that sort of thing. Did we accomplish any goals today?
Funeral goal.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and give you the XP for that. Let me get out my old man goggles here. I think it would be difficult to say that this advanced humanity by attending a funeral, but I will say it absolutely advances your clan, because this is an important ceremony for you to move forward with. So I'm going to say 500 XP total.
Okay.
200 for advancing your clan, and 100 because it was a public event, so it's known to many.
I should make one of my goals to turn Arnsson into a Yakuza.
Holy shit. Wow.
I think that levels
the
me up.
corruptor here.
I feel like he's in a dark enough place. If I can strike while the iron is hot and he's still pissed, maybe I have a shot.
So that puts me at 2,400, which I think
It's
levels me
enough
up.
level. Yeah.
Nice.
You want to roll some
Nice.
dice and let's see if your
Yeah.
HP goes up?
It's probably going to go down. Watch this.
Are you an expert or are you a warrior?
Warrior.
Well, warriors don't use D6s, so
Oh shoot, D8s. You're right.
and it's a good thing too, because that was a pretty bad roll. Okay.
8, not 3.
Do you have a constitution bonus?
I do not.
I think warrior gets a bonus irregardless. They get their level and hit points. Right? Am I crazy talking about that?
Never heard that before.
That might be a thing for revise. Sorry, that number's revised. The other.
So I gain that many hit points?
No, this is your new hit point
that's
total
my new
is
total.
11.
Okay.
Yes. Plus any con bonus you have. Sounds like a 0.
Yep.
So I'm guessing your hit points went up then.
Yes.
Maybe not super significantly, but they did go up.
Not significantly, but
Well,
I gotta open the rule book now because I don't remember what else I get.
you get some skill points. I believe you get 2 skill points to spend. James, sorry, I didn't find enough to rope you in this episode. I think I feel like that was a pretty major failure.
What I find funny is I said, before we go, I want to talk to this character, and the Rad's like, I want to talk to somebody first, and then we did the whole scene with Rad, and I didn't get my scene. But
oh my god, I completely forgot about it. You should have done the thing where they pull the performers off the stage with the hook and be like, Arthur, come back to this scene. What are you doing?
Did you say that while I was sitting here? Did I miss it, or was that while I was sitting here?
Because this is funny. That's why I didn't interject, because it's funnier that you.
That's just, I'm a fucking big mouth know-it-all.
Who did you need to talk to?
Oh,
you did say that multiple times.
We just start next session with a flashback.
It's probably
I feel like
it's probably inconsequential conversation. I just thought it was.
Bro, you want to work on that blackjack? Well, let's bring the blackjack. And that way we feel compelled to finish it before we land. Otherwise, I won't have a battle mech. And Poe's like, that's a terrible plan.
Akari-centric episode. I definitely need these other guys to be in the spotlight.
We needed it as a result of the consequences of the last episode.
That's true. It was big implications for me, but I'm glad to be firmly off the fence, though. Thank you, Arthur, for providing me the out that I asked for. Masterful GMing, as always. I appreciate
don't know about masterful, but definitely as painful as possible to your character. Not intentionally, but
no, it's fine. When you have a player that chronically has analysis paralysis, I appreciate shoves in particular directions to get me headed away.
At what was on the table, and I said, "What would your mother do?" And I was like, definitely force you into a marriage you're not going to want for her own personal gain.
Yeah.
I love, see, this is the thing. I love that your mom was like, you could eventually inherit the power of the Yakuza, but what she didn't mention is that she's going to get it first.
100%.
That when she's going to set it up so that when this guy dies, she gets all the power. And then when she feels like it, she can transfer it to you. When she feels
which is still
like
beneficial to Akari, right? Like, ultimately.
But in the end, the kid's gonna. She was like, "You'll be the undisputed master." But in the end, it's really the kid who's gonna get that baronial title. Akari's always gonna be the lower socially ranked person. With if she marries a baron, she's gonna be the lower social rank.
She'll be the consort, baroness consort.
But that's
certainly
that's all part of the game, right?
Like to seize power.
Lineage and bloodline is incredibly important in this culture. So,
and also in the Battletech rule systems that I write.
Even though she's not sitting in that number one slot, having secured it for future generations is still a massive win.
For that jihad time skip, yeah,
that's right. For my great grandchildren.
It's only 20 years. Jesus.
No. Listen,
wow,
it's cloning technology. Okay, we're gonna get a lot of generations out really quickly.
That has reinvented the clans.
Yeah, generations. Generations that are only like 3 years apart in age. Can I have had a like dossier on the Baron's son wrote up that I can like study while I'm
I'll get something to you next time.
Yeah, just a little bit of info.
So
if he's like, I love pickleball, I can learn to play like pickleball.
He pilots a Hermes 1B, which is a super fast light flamethrower mech, which should tell you all you need to know about how psychotic he is.
Oh boy. Well, I pilot the Lamborghini of Jinners, so maybe we'll get along just fine.
The rattlesnake is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, this guy pilots a suicide boat for sure. All right, I'm going to save the tabletop simulator so that the dice tower is actually going to be there next time. Please.
Is the dice tower working out?
Yes.
It technically rules.
Yeah, I dropped a couple dice down. It seemed to work pretty good.
My only beef is that it only rolls along one axis, which, is the thing. Any closing thoughts for this episode? Let me look at our calendar. Wow. You analysis paralysis your way through closing thoughts. I do not have any future sessions down on the table. Is there anything that would prevent us from meeting next time on the 22nd?
Let me check. I haven't. I have something specific, but I also need to start booking in some Blood Bowl games, and I've got like 3 days I'm out next week. So I was thinking of saying, can we have a week off?
Okay.
So I can try and get some other stuff done.
Sure.
If that's all right.
How is the 29th, which will only occur once every 4 years?
Then we should definitely do it.
Auspicious day. Just hold the audience hostage and be like, if it wasn't a leap year, we wouldn't have an episode. Even though it would just be March 1st instead.
Somewhere out there, there's a 48-year-old celebrating his 12th birthday.
That's not how that works, but okay. Well, I gotta get started editing this video, folks at home. So we'll see.
I fucked it all up.
That's fine. It's literally just I already edit in the music at the beginning and the end, so I'm already gonna edit it. And it helps make it easier to get on YouTube, oddly enough. We'll see you in 2 weeks, friends at home. And hey, Patreon.com/APGamingREAL, they get that stuff 1 week early. Crazy, I know.